I'm Mark Mullen, and I was born and raised here in Lincoln County. Went off for a little bit to Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and graduated from there, came back, and I've been running the family business for around 15 years now. Very active in the community, do a lot of work with children from the church. I also have 2 younger children of my own, and just love the interaction I get with them, and thought, well, that'd be a great way to give back to the communities to help the children that I interact with on a weekly basis. Just really enjoy it. Member of the Lincoln Rotary Club on the Lincoln's Recreation Commission, and serve as a deacon in my church.
Candidates. Given that our budget dollars are limited, what would be your 3 priorities, spending priorities, in the school system, in rank order?
2 minutes each, please, start the show.
Okay.
Mark?
My top 3 would start with teachers. Second would be technology, and lastly, not lastly, but just third, would be curriculum. Like, we've really got to get the teachers the tools they need, be it from supplemental pay or whatever we need to do to bring better quality teachers to Lincoln County and retain them, so we're not losing them to the school systems that are right in the immediate area. With the technology, books are going by the wayside. They're 7 or 8 years old by the time they're printed, and there's a lot of teachers not using those. If we could take that money, turn it back into technology, and use that technology to stay on top of the learning curve, then I think that would be something that would be beneficial to our children from top down. And I think you need to start, whether you start at the top or the bottom, there needs to be a set goal to reach all of the children within the system with new technology. And then lastly, with curriculum, I'm a firm believer in, we've got a school of technology that we spoke about last time that's got a 20, 25-year-old curriculum. Those jobs have changed, and we need to bring that curriculum up to date and prepare the kids that are going to enter the vocational workforce.
Well, actually, I was going to address, well, my question is to the school board and to everyone. I'd like to address the question of compensation. I actually agree with the gentleman over here, but I don't want to keep asking the question. So let me ask you a question about pay for teachers. And I recognize, I'm a corporate executive from Southern California. I just moved here a year ago. So I recognize that and I actually know some teachers pretty well. I recognize that the pay in Lincoln County on a national average is low. But I'd like to understand what the group here feels about pay for competence and competency testing. One of the things that I've honestly been, in all due respect to the teachers, been appalled at is the number of teachers in our system here that cannot even say 10 words in a row without a grammar mistake. And it's just unbelievable to me that these are the people educating my children. I have 2 children in the school system, middle school and high school, and it's appalling to me, in some cases, the caliber of the teachers. So I'm all for compensation and making it fair, but what is your collective views on competency testing, and would you be do you feel that it's the taxpayers and parents are getting value when teachers cannot even speak English correctly?
I'm all for it, but I don't know how you would actually do it in the theoretical, real teaching world. I can look at it from my child's standpoint that's in 2nd grade this year. There are 3 2nd grade classrooms in his school. One has 9 children that are what they consider AIG, or gifted students, and the rest of the majority of the class can read. There's another one that has 6 children considered gifted, and only 50% of that class can read. And then my son's in one, and there's 3 kids that are considered gifted, and only 5 of the total students can read. So how can you take a teacher that maybe the principal felt that those kids that needed the extra help needed to be in her class as opposed to one of the other classes, and grade her on that same scale? And I use her because there are all 3 female teachers in this situation. I think it's great that if we could come up with a plan to grade them based on competency or based on merit, it would be wonderful. But in actuality, I just don't see how you could do it other than if they were time and time again failing. It's just with the way things are laid out within the school system.
Just a quick answer. For high school teachers, given the SAT test, if they don't score above a certain score, then they're out. Simple as that. It's a general IQ test. It has nothing to do with whether they're a math teacher, or a science teacher, or social studies. It's general IQ. If they fail the SAT, they shouldn't be teaching our students at the high school level.
When you say general, though,
Tested the teachers?
Give them an SAT. I'm just giving you a quick. It's easy to test competency. Give them an SAT test. If they fail it, they're out.
Okay.
but if they're teaching math, you could have someone like Einstein that could not.
They'll
he
score
could
very high in
articulate,
math.
but he
Because
could
math
teach
is part
them.
of those. They won't fail the SAT if they score high in math. And if they
Einstein
score high
was
in
a
math, they
terrible
won't
teacher.
fail the SAT test. I'm just giving you an example, but I don't buy the idea that you can't test a teacher, because the teachers give tests all day long, every day, the whole year long to students, and we can't test the teacher. I don't buy that.
No, they were discussing the testing of the students to measure the teacher.
No, I'm not saying no. Give the teacher a test.
But just because they could pass the test doesn't mean that they could be a qualified teacher either.
But
that's the problem.
But that's how we hire in most businesses. They
Professional.
have to pass a certain level of
Joe, would
competence.
you like to go, and then Russell?
Yes.
Another question, school board?
Kathy, I think you mentioned, did you say you had a grandchild and someone said not public school? Yes. Okay, my question is to all the school board candidates. I hear such wonderful things about the charter school. I don't have children in school, but I hear that over and over and over, and I suppose that might be the backbone of your question. If the money goes to charter schools and all the Lincoln County schools, then they have the same amount. Why are they doing so much better from what I hear from the community?
Start.
I agree with them on the parent involvement, but I believe the other thing is the public school system doesn't have the ability to opt out for disciplinary problems. You have discipline problems, public school has to keep them. Charter school does not. If they cut up too much, they're out of charter school. That's going to skew the numbers because the teacher's not having to deal on a daily basis with discipline issues. There again, that's something that our hands are tied on from the school board, but that is a fact of life. We have to take care of each student until they're either of age to quit or they graduate.
My understanding is that the supplements are supposed to be paid to teachers, that there's a lot of administrative staff that are picking up on the supplements. Can I have your views on that and where that supplement money should go, please?
An inconvenient fact here, and Joe can re-answer. 20% of the supplement money from the county commissioners goes to administrators. Administrators get a higher percentage than teachers do, and since they have higher base salaries, they get a lot more money. A principal, for example, will get almost 3 times as much supplement as a teacher. Would you like to? No comment on that, sir? Okay. No dog in that fight?
Yeah, no dog.
Yes, Roger.
I have one quick question. Do principals, assistant principals, do any teaching at all, or are they just merely administrators?
John could
I
maybe.
didn't
No,
understand.
maybe Elaine could
Do
cover
any
that.
assistant principals
No.
actually teach classes?
No.
They don't? Okay.
Any other
They
questions?
get
Yes,
that
sir.
stuff?
The back.
Time for change.
I understand.
Mark, next.
I'd really like to look at the numbers on the breakdowns within that 20% and see exactly how it's going.
There's where they are, right there.
Is it across the board then, based on their salary?
That's-
the
that's
percent?
the
No, the
2,000.
percentage for a principal is
Based on the
higher than the
school.
percentage for a
Depends on the
right.
school.
Depends on the
Elementary,
school?
middle school,
Okay,
high school.
well, I was talking with the administrators, so they get 20% of the total, but the way it's broken down, it really needs to go back to, teachers are the first and foremost people that we need to bring in. We need to get that supplement turned back to the teachers on a higher percentage. It's still going to be less money, but we've got to increase that percentage right down to the bottom line for the teachers. Because if it is based strictly on net pay, then it goes back to the teachers. We need to get it from 6.5% up to 10 and cut down some of these 12 and 11 and 12 percentage.
Can I ask the question, the additional part of the question?
Can
Who
we answer
makes
this part
those
first?
decisions?
School board. School board.
School board?
Somebody in the room would like to know from each of the school board candidates how many relatives you have employed by the school system, without naming them necessarily, but
Yeah.
Certainly done.
Board, we've been talking about how
you would pay teachers, but I haven't heard anyone say how you would cut spending. How do you feel about the deficiencies and how the school is paying out monthly or in like electric bills, energy efficiency, facilities? Where's the fat in the budget and where we can start cutting?
There's just so many aspects I think you could do, and I think it's going to take penny pinching from the smallest level. Logistics to me is a big issue if you start looking at the gas budgets that we have. We're trucking stuff all over the county continuously. And we've already got different trucks going there. We've got school buses going there. Why don't we use the facilities and some of the things we're already doing and come up with a logistical way to transport things around the county instead of sending a truck here and a truck there and a bus here continuously. I mean, we need to get it to where the logistics are making sense. And you save at $4 a gallon diesel. You save a couple gallons here and a couple gallons there in the course of 180 days. That adds up tremendously. But I think that's just small scales. I think everything needs to be taken a look at. Wasteful products. Everything that we can possibly look at, we need to look at and cut, and just take advantage of economies of scales.
We're actually doing that now.
Working on it or doing it?
We're doing it now.
Okay.
We're saving thousands of dollars through courier system that we have.
With Byron, yeah. But I think even there, his fuel bill runs $40,000 a year.
Well,
And we've got other things that I think we could even cut further into that.
there are a lot of cost-saving measures that are going on now, from refrigeration and child nutrition, transportation. I mean, these are all areas that I have put a lot of time and effort into. And there are a lot more, and you're right, we can be doing more, but it needs to be a concerted effort, not just for the school system. And now we have the county that's implemented a lot of these programs, and they're buying into it, which is a good thing because it's saving them money as well. And we get to use facilities, and they get to use shared services, and it increases the revenue for the school system. I think the next step is to get corporate partnership and sponsorship within the school system. And that's where we're heading to now.
And I think I've talked to several of the banks and different corporations in Lincoln, and there's a lot of them that'd be willing to do it if they were just invited in. And I know without the school that my son goes to, CMC is a big partner, and they provide quite a bit for them. And I think that's one that they just need to. They want some recognition, but that's nothing more than a thank you and a pat on the back. And
Now, it's going to be more than that. We have an ad hoc committee actually that's just been started, and we're going to get these groups together, and it's going to provide additional revenue for the school systems. And it's also going to be a benefit for these companies. And we're in the process of doing that. But that's a great issue and a great feasibility study that everybody on the school board should be a part of.
Is it now your turn?
It is.
The school board?
Yeah, if you had to hire a new superintendent and you had two candidates that were closely qualified, but one just a little bit better than the other, but that person was from out of Lincoln County, would you take care of your own and hire within Lincoln County?
Kathy, we'll start with that. Andrew?
And the most qualified. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The person that's got the best qualifications to be able to lead our system in the future.
All right, I'd like to throw out my own again. That's a hypothetical question, somewhat hypothetical. You've got a school superintendent you've been giving evaluations to at the rate of 3.8 or 3.9 out of 4 for 3 consecutive years. Why would you not vote to rehire that superintendent, Kathy? Or would you vote?
Well, in the business world, I've hired and fired, and I've never fired anybody that I've given high regards to, and nor would. There again, I'm not privy to what the last evaluation was, because somebody's done great for all these years, that last evaluation could have been terrible. We're not privy to it, but in my personal experience, I've never fired somebody that's gotten or not continued their employment, even if it wasn't a fire, but to continue for another year on a contract basis that you've given very good results to in the past.
You have a comment on this one?
No, I don't.
Any more questions?
I
Yes.
will.
Yes.
I'm a new person in this community, and we saw this incident go on, and, you know, you're thinking, oh, we got a bunch of good old boys running this department here, and it's time for the good old boys to go. I think that people are, you know, there's other people in this community other than the good old boys, and they're tired of it. And I think you better get the personal friends and family out of there and start voting for what's best for the kids.
Was there a question in there?
No.
I didn't think so.
Just a really
We have a
good statement.
question.